Hello, Dave Kenworthy here, presentation 4, and we're going to talk about the work of Bill Wilkinson. And Bill has found this line that runs from the sanctuary down to Woodhenge. And we need to realise the importance of these two sites and how they were discovered. And the sanctuary was initially discovered by William Stukeley. And he, when he was looking at these sites, got lucky because for 3 consecutive years, there were very dry years and the summers were absolutely baking hot. And when he turned up to do his research on these sites around Avebury and round Stonehenge, he found post holes that wouldn't normally be there, or post hole marks on the ground that wouldn't normally be there. And he found some at the sanctuary and he recorded them in his manuals, and they were subsequently used by an absolutely outstanding archaeologist called Cunnington. And she excavated the sanctuary, and she also excavated Stonehenge. She was from a very wealthy family. She'd married into a very wealthy family of archaeologists, and her son was an archaeologist, and they were super archaeologists, and they recorded their findings very diligently. And when she'd finished her work at the sanctuary and at Stonehenge, Woodhenge, she left concrete markers in the ground so there'd be a permanent record of what she'd discovered. And we can actually go and look at it. Oh, maybe we can't. Oh, there we are. And this record is just fantastic. And it's been picked up on by many metrologists who were writing books about the work of Alexander Thom. And one guy, Jeff Bath, has actually used this as his front cover of his book, and he's written about the work of Thom. And it's a book that I've got, and it's a really recommended book. So look at what happens when we move in. I've made a circle round the markers. But just look how brilliantly she's marked this site. Oops. And now we're looking at the horizontal aspect of it. I'll exit ground level and we can go back to the site, and there it is. Now look how perfectly marked that circle is. I mean, this is thousands of years old and she's able to mark it like that. And if we go down to Woodhenge, she's done exactly the same there. And Thom picked up on this. So we go down the Wilkinson-Thom line, which really should be called the Stukeley, Cunnington, Wilkinson-Thom line. And that then gets in the full archaeological history of these sites. Now let's go to Woodhenge by pressing this zoom in button. And look at what we're looking at. This is just fabulous, isn't it? And now they've even put the posts in. This is the first time I've seen this. It's fantastic. And that's what our archaeologists think it could have looked like. But these marker holes, they're concrete posts, and they've overlain them with these wooden ones. And there were wooden posts at the time. That's just fabulous. So Alexander Thom picked up on this, and these are measured out in megalithic yards, these circles. And the megalithic unit of measure, the megalithic inch, is 0.816 imperial inches. What a ridiculous measure for Thom to have discovered. But what do we find between these two sites? If we go back, we can drag a line Sorry, I can't speak and write at the same time. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna drag this line that Bill Wilkinson has discovered, and we're gonna replicate what he's done. So if we look, I don't think the line that I've put there is actually in the centre of that circle. So let's go to Tools and Ruler, and it's come up on line, which means we can drag a line. We need to move that out the way. So let's try and get the centre. I reckon it's about there. And now we can drag this line down to Woodhenge. So we pull out, then we can drag it further. Pull out a bit more, so we can actually see the other side, I think. I hope. Not quite. Just a little bit further, perhaps. No, much further. Maybe I didn't pull out far enough. There's an interesting site there that the two eclipse lines go through. I haven't spoken about that yet, but it's something we can talk about. And here we are, right, that's where it is. So where's the line? I'm not very good with this stuff, I apologise, but at least I can just about manage it. So we get to there, somewhere. Oh, that's right. We're looking at 81,600 feet that we're aiming for. So we should be somewhere now very close to Woodhenge. So let's zoom in. Come on, Dave. You can do this. Oh. Yeah, we're going there now. There it is. So we were looking for 81,600. Look at that. 81,600. Centre to centre. It's absolutely smack bang in the middle. And these people, what can you say about that? Their obvious intention is for this to be 81,600 feet. So they must have been using the imperial foot, because this is the number that they were using, and this is part of an eclipse prediction system. Because the nodal cycle of the moon is 6,800 days, and the unit that Alexander Thom discovered, his megalithic rod, he called it, is 6.8 feet. And it's actually 100 megalithic inches. Because 6.8 feet is 81.6 imperial inches. And this system is part of an eclipse prediction system, because the nodal cycle has to be divided by the eclipse danger period to work out when an eclipse is probable. And the eclipse danger period, Thom tells us, is 173.333 days. And what we're seeing here is evidence that these people knew all about the nodal cycle. And Bill Wilkinson has produced a fabulous video on YouTube that goes with this, and I'll put a link in to the notes below this. But for now, that's this fabulous discovery of Bill Wilkinson, and people aren't really aware of it. There are a few people that have seen his website, over 1,000, but this deserves much more publicity than it's getting. So thank you very much.